Ladypreneurs. I'm Elise Smith, owner of Divinely Driven Results, and you are listening to the radio show Divinely Driven Results, where you learn and implement divine strategies for real results in your business. And I have to ask you guys, have you had to learn homeschooling in the last little while, or maybe you've been a homeschool pro the whole time? Did you know that you can take homeschool principles that you may have just learned to be able to apply them and grow your business? I did not know that. But I was taught that by the amazing Karen Smith. She is the CEO of Life Connections Academy, and we are so thrilled to have her on today to be able to help us see how we can bridge the gap of something that maybe you're already doing, regardless if you're in your homeschool or not. You can apply these same types of principles and really have great success in your business. So Karen, we are so happy to have you on today. Tell us a little bit more about who you are and what you do.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here. And I live in Wheaton, Illinois. I actually have three babies in heaven and three children on earth. And my children in heaven actually are the why behind why I really wanted to make the most of every single moment I had with my kids that I have here on earth. And so I actually homeschooled them. I've been homeschooling for 19 years. And now the season is coming to an end. My daughters are in college. One is in nursing school and one is in animation. And then I'm still homeschooling my son, but he's in high school. And so a lot of that is independent work. So anyways, I decided to venture off into coaching, and I started off as a parent coach because I feel like I've got all this homeschool knowledge to pass on. But then when I started going that direction, I realized that what I really love to do is I love to help people start things, whether it's businesses or books or things like that. And so I changed directions, but then I really realized all of the tips and things I had learned in homeschool were super effective in the business world.
Oh, I love that. It's so powerful when we can take something in our life and apply it in a different way to grow our businesses. I mean, that's one thing that we do with the Bible all the time, is that so many times we read the Bible and we only catch that first layer. But if you dig in deeper with whether it's the Bible or homeschooling or, maybe even doing the dishes, like it doesn't really matter what it is, you can apply it to business in such a cool way. So I love your story. That's so inspiring. So tell us a little bit more about why you feel like this is a great topic for everyone to hear right now.
Well, because I feel like the things that I discovered that were the carryover were really big tips. For instance, when you're in your business and you're working and you can be busy, you can be doing a lot of things, but I call there's busyness and bulldozer. And the bulldozer activities are the things that actually move you forward, but you have to move things. And so they take energy. And that's what I found with homeschool. It's like, we could be busy, but were we moving forward? Were we learning? Were we growing? And so that's one of the things. And then just how movement brings clarity. I think sometimes we forget that. Especially in business, we think, I don't know what I'm going to do, or maybe there's too many ideas. I'm such an idea person that I'll just start, and rather than taking an action on one idea. So just to really always stay in momentum. Do you want me to keep giving a little tips or?
Yeah. Oh, go for it.
Okay.
You're on a roll, girl.
And
I
then
love it.
one of the other things is I realized that a lot of things we could do a little bit every day, but make a lot of progress. And so I call it the power of 5 minutes. And so if we did something for 5 minutes every day, by the end of the week, we had accomplished a lot. And so I think that that is another thing I've realized for me is just if I know where I want to be, I have my actions that will move me forward. So if I do have 5 minutes, it's getting into the conversation with someone. It's doing those things on my map that brings me to success, that will keep me in momentum. And just really realizing that if I just do that for 5 minutes, that really will make a difference.
Awesome. I love those tips, and especially that last one, because we have like awkward moments of time, like awkward time segments in our day all the time, right? And especially as we start to kind of get back more after COVID and all of that. If you're sitting, waiting at a doctor's office, you've got 5 minutes right there. And one of the business tips that somebody told me, and I honestly can't remember where it came from, but was just this concept of have a list of what we call income producing activities, your bulldozer activities, right? Have a list of those things that are really going to move the needle that you can do in small chunks of time so that you can fit those in. And so instead of just, taking out your phone and playing Candy Crush, which if you need a break, that's awesome. Go ahead and do that. But if you want to work your business in those 5 minutes, take out your list and then say, okay, great, I can send 10 messages to 10 new people today, or whatever that may be. So I love that idea. That is so cool. So tell us, where did these three come from? What's your personal experience with these three tips?
Well, just I saw it was really important that we were always just getting results. Another thing I talk about when I do my business coaching is its core. So I like to customize things because one size really doesn't fit all. And
Yeah.
I just think just to really know yourself, because the more you show up as who you are, then that's going to really resonate with the people that are meant to connect with you. And then just that it's organized. I really like to have lists. I like to know what order to do things, because I think sometimes we can do things in the wrong order and then feel like a failure. And then just that we're always getting results. We're always feeling like, even if it's small, we're chipping away at the right things. And then finally, just the E is for enjoyment, because I feel like fun is a really important thing. And just to always have fun as part of our day. I've actually written 6 books, and one of my books is how to take a family vacation that everybody will love. And that's one of my core concepts, is that each day has to have something fun in it for everyone.
Oh, how awesome. So how do you bring fun into business? Because man, some days it's just monotonous.
I think part of it is just really keeping your why in front of you, just like why you're passionate about doing it. And then just, there are certain parts that you're going to enjoy more than others. And so just to make sure that that's always as part of your day, that you're doing something like, I love writing. That's probably one of my favorite things. So just that, just I put a little content creation in every one of my days, even if that's not my main emphasis. Maybe I'm trying to really connect with people that day, but just that I have give myself a little bit of time to do something that I really enjoy and consider fun.
I love that. Yeah. So, I mean, you can take a list of all of the activities and the tasks that you do, and you can prioritize them, right? And not just prioritize them as in this has to get done or this is urgent or whatever, but more of prioritize them of fun. Somebody asked me the other day, like, what is your perfect business day? And I had the hardest time trying to figure that out. And so my husband, he's like, just make a list, because he knows I love lists. I'm organized like you. Like I geek out over that kind of stuff. I'm like, yes, I get to make a list. But he said, make a list of all your activities that you do and put them on a scale of 1 to 5 of enjoyment, because we tend to forget that. We almost feel like that's ancillary, or that's just not important. It's the urgent need or the deadline that we are always focused on, which is very much in this scarcity kind of mentality that can shut us down if we focus on it too much. But if we focus on the joy that we can get from those things, and I love how you choose every single day, you choose one thing that brings you joy. That is so awesome, because then you can get up and look forward to the day, right?
Yes.
I love that. That's so perfect. So, what are some things you said that you love writing? Is there anything else that you have on your list that you just love?
Well, I love people. I love having conversations. It's just so fun to hear other people's stories and to hear the dreams that are in their heart. That really brings me joy.
Awesome. Yeah. So I would encourage you guys, what are, just even right now, well, as you guys are watching and listening to this, like what are 3 things that you love to do in your business? Because I bet you've kind of suppressed those on and focused on all those things that you don't love to do. Bring some of those back into your day, and that's going to make a huge difference. Awesome. Awesome. So talk to us about those bulldozer activities, because I love how you say that.
Well, I think that I always used to imagine, because I never saw it, but I just felt like, especially on Monday morning, I feel like there's plastic wrap over everything. And so no matter what I did, I just felt like if it was just hard to break through. And so what helped me is just to realize that that was going to happen. So not to be surprised by it. And one of the other tips that has really been huge in my coaching and also just what I learned from homeschool was just how you go to bed at night really matters. Just really thanking God for the day and the things that you really truly brought joy to your heart, but then just setting yourself up for success the next day. For homeschool, it was actually laying out the books we were going to do and just feeling like I'm ready. But for my business, it's like, getting my priorities straight and like just having some things I'm looking forward to. So just really being intentional about how I went to bed really made a huge difference.
Oh, love, love, love that. And isn't that such a beautiful feeling to wake up in the morning and have a fresh start? I was just thinking about that this morning. I went to bed with a migraine and I was just miserable. And so I woke up this morning and the pain was gone and I had that fresh feeling and that energy of like, hey, let's tackle this day. And I think that that's such a gift from the Lord that we get to start our new day every single day, right?
Yeah. Well, I love that verse in Lamentations where it talks about his mercies are new every morning. And I just think about that, when you open your eyes, like there's new grace for the day, there's new help for the day. So just to know we can have that available to us.
Agreed, absolutely. And getting ourselves set up for that night before. Like I know that in order to not let my to-do list manage me, I choose 3 things that I'm going to accomplish the next day. And then I try not to look at anything else on the list because I want to just focus on just those 3 things. Once I get those done, then I can go to the other ones. But if I try to just, sit down in the morning and just look at my entire to-do list, I start getting overwhelmed and I'm like, nope, I'm not doing anything today. Let's just crawl back in the covers and be done with it. So obviously you are very big into organization. What kind of ties have you seen of organization in homeschooling compared to organization in your business? What is the similarities there?
Well, I think really, again, it's just realizing that it's not a sprint, but it's a marathon. And just to know that have the proper expectations to celebrate the small. Sometimes we want to be farther in the race than we are, but just to really recognize this is where I'm at, but then know, this is what I need to do to get to that mountaintop. I always look at like some of the pictures we've taken on vacation and think if someone just knew all that we went through to get that picture. But anyways, I think just keeping that in mind, just having the proper expectations, but then also too, just to look for the little wins. I think sometimes we discount those, but really they are very special.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so important to celebrate the little wins because the little wins are what builds up that success for those big wins. So, yes. So, if someone is listening to this and maybe they don't homeschool, what kind of advice would you give them of applying these types of principles to their business?
I would just say, look at some of the things that are working in your family. Like, is it like what is going well? Because I think sometimes we tend to focus on the things that are problems, but just to say, wow, we're really doing this well as a family. And then think about how could that help your business do well as well? Because I think that's where I saw like where we were getting momentum, where we were doing things, those were my carryover tips. So I just would encourage them to just look at their family and say, what are the things that we like have accomplished and have momentum on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like one thing would be that, kids typically do better with structure, right? Well, big kids like us do better with structure too. So I love how you put it in those beautiful words of just basically looking at what's working for your family situation because they're true principles, right? That the things that you do, there's that quote of the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. And so, why not make that be empowering instead of disempowering? Sometimes we think of that as a disempowering kind of quote, but you can make that happen for you in any way. And if you are going for that success and you already know that something works in your personal life, why not use it, right?
Yes.
Love it. Well, awesome. Well, thanks so much for being on the show today, Karen. You've just been a bright light that you are able to share all of those amazing things that you've learned over the years. And it's just so cool to be able to look at different areas of your life and figure out how to apply it to business because it's working, right?
Yes.
Love it. So if people want to know more about you, where can they find you?
So my website is lifeconnectionsacademy.com. And all my books are on Amazon. So if you just Google Karen Sue Smith or put that in Amazon, my 6 books will come up. I wrote one on Thanksgiving, how to give thanks in 12 different areas of your life. I have a book that's my story about just my journey of sorrow and joy. It's called Learning to Parent in the Light. And then I wrote a book on the Let's Go, how to take a family vacation everybody will love. And then I have a book about hearing the voice of God. And it's a compilation of all of the 12 years of spending time with God in different locations. So I've got that all in that book. And then I finally just released my Motivation to Move. And it's talking about how to help your physical body, help your heart draw closer to God. So all my books are on Amazon. And then my website again is lifeconnectionsacademy.com.
I love it. This woman is a rock star, guys. Like just last year, how many big books did you write last year?
5.
Yeah, just incredible. Like any kind of tips and tools that she gives you, implement because she knows what she's doing. So Karen, thanks so much for being part of this. Any last words that you want to kind of share and impart with this amazing group?
I just want to say thank you so much for this opportunity. I really enjoyed it, and I just really look forward to connecting more.
Awesome. That sounds great. She's definitely one to connect with, guys. So thank you so much, Karen. And you guys have a wonderful day or evening whenever you watch this. And we will see you next time on Divinely Driven Results.